Charged with light. What does it mean? What does it do? How can I use it? Hello, my name is Danger, and I will be your guide to this mechanic introduced in the Season of Dawn. First off, Charged with Light mods belong in the seasonal slot, like other mods such as Warmind Cell related mods, raid related mods, or specific enemy mods. Using seasonal mods, we can do a wide variety of crazy powerful actions such as Warmind Cell manipulation, damage multipliers, or even generating ammo/orbs of light. On a side note, this video will not be covering the Warmind Cell or seasonal mods. Moving on, we have the less complex raid related or specific enemy mods. These mods will provide useful benefits while in certain raid activities or while versing certain types of enemies. Next, we have the mods focused around the Charged with Light system that was implemented in Season of Dawn. These are responsible for crazy stat bonuses or versatile damage buffs. To start off this group of mods, we have charge generators and charge spenders. For charge generators, we have taking charge, shield break charge, and empowered finish for our default mods. Default meaning every player will have access to these mods. Reading the text on these mods, we can understand how to generate stacks of Charged with Light. Moving on, we have other charge generators such as Swift Charge, Precision Charge, Charge Harvester, and Quick Charge, to name a few. There are multiple other mods of the same multi-kill variety or assist kills variety that will also generate stacks of Charged with Light. Now, the key to using these mods is reading the description and doing a little bit of testing on your own to see how they work. Now, for the testing I have done, for the mods that work around primary ammo weapons, so stuff like pulse rifles, submachine guns, sidearms, the mod requires 3 kills and roughly 5 seconds to generate 1 stack of Charged with Light. Although the generation of this stack is not very consistent, sometimes it only takes 2 kills, or sometimes it has a smaller time window, sometimes it will give you a larger time window and may even require more kills. For mods that use special weapons to generate stacks of Charged with Light, such as Quick Charge here, there is a period of 4 to 6 seconds where only 2 kills are required to generate a stack of Charged with Light. In testing, these mods with special ammo have proven very consistent. There are multiple mods that generate stacks of Charged with Light off multi-kills, so I recommend acquiring all of the mods and fitting them into builds later on. Don't be like me, missing out on some seriously powerful mods like Stacks on Stacks because I did not get them when they were available. In addition to certain mods generating stacks of light, or even sharing stacks with allies, they may even have special secondary perks that only activate when another elemental mod is slotted on the same piece of gear. For example, the Ever Ready perk on a quick charge that gives pseudo quick draw on shotguns, fusion rifles, or in SMGs. Or the mod might have a secondary stat bonus that could give an additional 20 mobility or 20 strength. Some perks will invoke stat penalties and will take away a certain number of stat points, like the Charge Harvester mod, which will take away 10 mobility for hunters, 10 recovery for warlocks, or 10 resilience for titans. Next, we move on to charge spenders. These mods will provide beneficial effects in exchange for stacks of Charged with Light. The most common spender mod is High Energy Fire. This mod will give a permanent 20% damage increase until a kill is made with any weapon. This damage buff can be stored forever by damaging an enemy and finishing with a melee or some other ability. This includes finishers. You can use finishers to keep High Energy Fire. Other mods could be heavy-handed, which will give back half your melee energy after getting a powered melee kill. Now, some new mods were introduced this season, such as Argent Ordnance and Lucent Blade. Lucent Blade gives 6 seconds of a 35% damage buff after an initial sword swing. This buff, to my knowledge, stacks with weapon damage perks such as Surrounded or Whirlwind Blade, but does not stack with other player side damage buffs such as Weapons of Light or Empowerment. This tells us that Lucent Blade and Argent Ordnance fall into the same category of player side buffs that Well and Weapons of Light are part of. In addition, Argent Ordnance functions differently than Lucent Blade. Argent Ordnance mods stack with each other but cap out at 3 mods. Now, in testing in the Tribute Hall, 1 stack provided a 20% damage increase. This is no different than High Energy Fire, and a single Argent Ordnance is more costly to slot. not to mention neither high energy fire, Argent Ordnance, or Lucent Blade stacked together. 2 stacks of Argent Ordnance created a 25% damage increase, which isn't that great considering you have to slot a 5 more cost on a different armor piece. But with 3 stacks, a noticeable 35% damage increase was made. This is the same buff as Lucent Blade. Now the text on Argent Ordnance mod description is not entirely correct. The perk buffs damage on a single rocket magazine and will consume the stack of Charged with Light roughly 2 seconds after the rocket impacts and explodes, presumably to allow cluster bombs to benefit from the damage buff. This is different from the perk which reads dealing damage with a rocket launcher to a powerful combatant gives you a major increase to rocket launcher damage for a short time. That is not true. However, even with a demolitionist rocket launcher, one cannot get the Godslayer Warheads buff on another rocket or magazine. Now, the rocket launchers that best benefit from Argent Ordnance are Wardcliff and Two-Tailed. The whole volley benefits from the buff, meaning every Wardcliff rocket and both Two-Tailed rockets will receive the damage increase. Honestly, I'm not sure why Bungie made the sword mod easier and less costly to get higher DPS out of than the rocket launcher mod, seeing as rocket launchers are already in the ground in terms of DPS. Moving on, I asked my clan members if they had any questions regarding the seasonal slot, and more specifically the Charged with Light mods. One such question was on the versatility of the Charged with Light mods in Crucible, followed up by if the mods will seem useful in Trials of Osiris. The short answer, any game mode where you can expect to get upwards of 2 kills and keep going, these mods will be useful. If you get upwards of 2 and the round ends because of that, these mods are not a good fit for the game mode. In the quick play game modes such as Clash or Control, these mods will still have a place because streaks and even assist streaks will have added versatility. Indeed, Charged with Light mods can give a more sandbox feel to Crucible with a wider variety in your loadouts. High energy fire still certainly works in Crucible to create a 20% damage increase that stacks with weapon damage buffs such as Kill Clip, Rampage, you name it. Some nasty loadouts could be made such as a semi-permanent 1-tap to the body Arbalest shot, or a semi-permanent 1-tap to the head Sturm shot. As far as I can tell, the multi-kill to become charge mods still work, but the win level on them is so small, it is hard to get their benefit. The best mod for multi-kills is undeniably Quick Charge because it gives a 4 to 6 second window between shotgun or fusion multi-kills. Or even the Charge Harvester mod, available on newer pieces of Void Armor. This new mod will generate a charge in roughly 4 to 6 kills or assists. While the Charged with Light mods certainly feel more at home in PvE for the crazy mayhem they can be responsible for, looking at the crazy new sidearm damage mod. But these mods have lowered if not the same effectiveness in Crucible. These mods can range anywhere from the same effectiveness to lowered to even no effect in Crucible. Certain mods such as Protective Light will not activate in Crucible. Now the description on them will read that taking damage from a combatant or mods revolving around combatants in general, it appears that Guardians ourselves are not considered combatants, which is why some of these mods will not proc. Now certain mods such as Heavy Handed will activate because their effects do not require combatants. Now if you have any questions, please post them in the comments section down below and I will try my best to respond with accurate information. I know I did not cover every single mod in this video, so if you find any mods that you are curious about, I encourage you to do your own testing in the Tribute Hall and Lost Sectors or with some buddies in a custom Crucible game. My recommendation for becoming better at Charged with Light is to acquire every single mod you possibly can and then later figuring out how to use them. You need to experiment, and then experiment some more. Some of these mods have inaccurate descriptions such as the Font of Light mod, which ended up turning into Reactive Light. In addition to all of this, experimenting and testing Charged with Light builds will make you more consistent when using these builds outside of testing environments, such as going into Crucible and slaying with new loadouts. That's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing so you don't miss out on future content. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see all of you guys in the next video. Later!